Okay, welcome everybody to the Whole Heart Social Media Masterclass. I'm excited to have you here today. And some people are watching it virtually, and we have about 25 people signed up. So welcome to the people who are also watching it virtually. And so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Diana Morgan. For the last 18 years, I have been teaching people how to grow an authentic online presence. And my mission is to raise the consciousness of social media so that we can use social media to raise consciousness and elevate humanity. And that is most of the people who I work with are people who are heart-centered, purpose-driven entrepreneurs who have a message and they know they could reach more people if they could just figure out how to do this thing. And so that's what I am here for, is to help you figure out how to do this thing. So I know I sort of promoted this as 2026 best practices for social media. And we are going to talk about that. But since then, I mean, everything is moving so fast. I am going to also talk about how to really incorporate AI into your social media to amplify your voice and how to stay authentic in the AI world. Now, next week, I'm doing an AI, a ChatGPT class, and some of you are already in my program, so you know you're coming. And for those of you who aren't, I'll talk about that later. But I am going to incorporate a little bit, not necessarily the how to do it, but the how to really incorporate it into your social media. So the chat is open. Feel free to ask questions in the chat. I might know that I'm getting to it, so I might not necessarily answer it in the moment. And if it's, I'll stay after, and I have a Facebook group where you can also ask questions. So here we go. The 2026, I just want to make sure I put the recording on, right? Okay. I'm notorious for forgetting to put the recording on. The 2026 visibility shift has already happened. And it's about presence, engagement, and authentic influence in the age of AI. So here are some things that you've probably heard people saying already, and I'm just going to reiterate them, which is posting more no longer equals visibility. Engagement is replacing volume, and AI has raised the noise level, and therefore human presence is what cuts through the noise. And that is what I've been about. For those of you who don't know, I am the author of the Whole Heart Social Media Success Formula: What to Say, Where to Play, and How to Win Intentional Social Media for Purpose-Driven Entrepreneurs. And this book was written before this whole AI explosion a couple of years ago, but it's still evergreen content. It's still really about free organic reach. And I'm actually going to be writing another chapter to add to the ebook about Whole Heart or free organic reach in the AI world. So stay tuned. So this is the truth room. Those of you who know me, you know this. The internet is a 24/7 networking opportunity. And my question to you is, how do you show up? Do you show up consistently? Do you show up occasionally? Are you excited to be there? Or do you feel like it's a big should and you're just showing up, ugh, I don't want to do this energetically? What you're doing is you're transmitting an energy to whoever is interacting with you that you don't want to be there. And so you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. So I want to really encourage you through this process today to start to really embrace and, shift your energy around social media so that you're transmitting your positive, beautiful energy instead of your, I don't want to be here energy. Okay. So what is your intention on social media? Are you there to make new connections? Are you networking with existing connections? Are you getting referrals? Are you there to get clients, inspiration, education, find out what's happening? I hope you're not there to find out the news, because please, if you are, read 3 other sources and don't get your news. Don't get your news from Facebook, and don't click on those. Read more here about this or that, because they're going to be ads. And are you there to connect with family and friends? So there's lots of different reasons why we're on social media. So I want you to be clear about, why are you on social media? So So many entrepreneurs are feeling invisible right now. How many of you are feeling invisible on social media? You're feeling like, oh my God, has anybody even seen my stuff? So, first of all, I want to tell you, even if people aren't liking, commenting, or sharing your content, it doesn't mean they're not seeing it. And if you look at your analytics, you can see views, you can see your reach, and you know from your own social media habits that you don't comment and on every single post, but you see it. Okay. So that's the same for people seeing your content. So don't think people aren't seeing it. So I want to talk a little bit about the shift from the evolution of authenticity in the age of AI. So old authenticity used to be that, just be real, share real things. And, that's going to really take you a long way on social media. New authenticity is what we're talking about today, which is having a very clear voice, a very clear message. You get 2 seconds to engage people. So if you don't engage people in 2 seconds, they are off to the next thing. And you want to be engaging your people. So you want to be really thinking about, what do my people want to see from me in their social media feed, from my feed. You want to have a clear perspective and a clear presence so that people say, like, oh, Rochelle's about this, or Bobette's about that. So people are saying they know what you're about. I think very few people don't know that I'm about social media. I did transition from being the Facebook queen to being the social media queen, or internet marketing queen, but people know that that's what I'm about. And that's what I want you to be doing, whether it's on your personal or your business social media. It doesn't mean you have to like be super salesy on your personal social media. You can still be about what your business is about without being salesy. And AI can help you create the content, but it can't replicate your energetic signature. In other words, you're going to hear me say this so many times. It can't be you. It can't replicate you. So you have to think about that in terms of, there are great potential opportunities with AI, but it can't be you. Welcome, Susan. Welcome, Karen. Um, we're just going to keep going. You're going to get the replay, so you can definitely uh, watch the replay of the beginning. Okay, so the visibility framework in 2026. It's presence, how you show up energetically, not just visually. And I talked about that a little bit. It is so important. Everything is energy. We are all connected. So people feel you. Your goal is to show up on social media, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, wherever you are, the same as if they were going to meet you in person. Okay. So you bring all of your energy. Like, I know when I'm getting into my mindset to show up on social media, I have like crystals on my desk and I have a bowl of water to help with shifting the energy. Sometimes I light a candle. I mean, I create an energy around like social media as a ritual so that it's like, that's who I am. That's what I do when I'm really finding myself in my own presence. And so that's what I want to bring across when I'm online. So, so presence is the first thing, how you show up. The next thing is clarity. Your message is the filter that attracts the right people. Okay. And it's not necessarily how you would speak about it, it's how your ideal clients would hear it. So you want to be really connecting to, what are the words that my ideal clients would use to search for me? What would they want to see that would cause them to lean in and become curious about what I'm sharing, about what I'm about? And then engagement. Real conversations signal relevance to humans and the platforms. Okay, this is so important. I'm going to say it again. Real conversation is what signals relevance to the platforms, of course, to humans, but to the platform. So, for example, on LinkedIn now, when you say something and somebody comments and you comment again and they comment, that's what LinkedIn looks at, especially. I mean, Facebook looks at it too. Facebook has been looking at it for a long time, but now even LinkedIn, it's like, oh, okay, here is a post that needs to be lifted up higher in the feed because it's clear to the bots, because that's what the bots are trained to look for is engagement. So to the bots, that's a valuable conversation. May or may not be, but that's what the bots are. And so hopefully it is, and it's what you're doing. Okay, and then invitation. Visibility becomes transformation, not content. Okay, so your visibility, your authentic visibility becomes the transformation that people see. And I'm going to share, so I'm a recovered video phobic. And I recently, in the past year, I've really gotten over myself, still tripping about the eye makeup situation, but letting it go. But anyway, so I've been doing a ton of videos, like every day. And my visibility is going up and up and up. And the other thing that's even more interesting to me and how I know my visibility is going up is because people who I haven't talked to in forever are messaging me. They're commenting on my stuff. They're like, oh, Diana, I love this video, or they're sending me messages about other things. So referrals or whatever. So that's how I know that, how important visibility is and also how important video is. Okay. So the biggest shift in 2026, engagement is the new visibility currency. So depth of conversation, time spent interacting, and relationship signals. That's just the summary of what we just talked about. So visibility is no longer follower based. It's engagement based. So your audience is not just watching, they're participating. And this is how the algorithms are working now, is that your message matters more than your size of how many people you have and how many, all of those things. Small creators with clear presence are the ones who are winning now. And the algorithm promotes relevance over popularity. Okay. So hopefully you're getting the message. And here's the bottom line is that 50% or more of the content that you are seeing is suggested to you from people you've never heard of. Are you noticing that in your feed? You're like, where did this come from? What? I didn't. Because now instead of social media platforms showing you content because you're friends with that person or you're following that person, they're showing you the content because they feel that it's relevant based on content that you've shared, interest in something that you've clicked on or shown relevance to. And so that is the same thing for other people. Okay. So other people are getting shown your content based on the words, based on the images, based on the relevance to what they are interested in. So it's more important than ever for you to be consistent with your messaging, consistent with your brand, to, if you're going to share quotes and you're going to share things, to share things that are, like I like to say, in your lane. Okay, share things that are going to be relevant to your people. Because when you share random things, what happens is it sort of throws off the algorithm. So, I mean, I know that some people want to use their social media to express their frustrations around things that are happening in the world. And, I'm not going to say don't do it, but I'm going to say that those kinds of things do confuse the algorithm. And so one of the things that I have recommended to people is like, say, whatever are your main platforms? If your main platforms are Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, then choose a different platform to sort of like be the platform that you want to share. Maybe you want to share things that, more political or whatever. And like Threads is a good one, or Substack. Substack is a great place to really start to share things that are important to you that are sort of like a little bit different from what your brand is. But again, staying in your own personal brand when you share those things. So, okay, so the bottom line here is that this is what I'm here for. I'm here to help you stand in your message, lead with presence, and build visibility that doesn't feel aligned or exhausting. So I'm just gonna let that land right now because that's what I'm hearing from so many people, that they're just exhausted and frustrated with the whole social media thing. So hopefully you're gonna walk away today feeling less frustrated and knowing what to do so that you're not feeling exhausted. Okay, so here's what's losing power with social media. Posting constantly without purpose is not going to help you. Over-polished AI content. Whatever you're getting from AI, I hope that you're then, massaging it through your own filter and putting your own words in. How many of you are already using AI for your social media content? None of y'all. Okay, you should come to my class. Okay, good, Mary. Thank you. Okay, so definitely you want to come to my class next week to learn how to do that. Okay, performing for the algorithm is not a powerful thing anymore. And just generic educational content, which I call just blah blah, is not working anymore. So here is what is now building visibility. A clear message with a strong point of view, and even long form posts are really powerful, especially on LinkedIn, but on Facebook too. What I'm finding is when I'll share something that's a little bit longer and I go a little bit deeper, people really will engage in it. And then you start to get that conversation. And then that's when the algorithms will pick up the relevance, that this is a post that needs to be higher up in the algorithms because you're seeing the relevance and you're seeing the engagement in the conversation. Real engagement before and after posting. Okay, so I want to really encourage you. We're going to talk more about this, but really engaging with people before you post, and especially if you're in groups, really spending some time engaging in social media before you start just pumping out your own posts. Human voice and emotional resonance. And you've seen that when you put something that's really deep for you or really emotional, or when you post like your birthday or an anniversary, or you can see how many more people engage in it, right? I mean, we all see that, right? Because that's human voice, it's emotional resonance. When you share something deep that you are deeply feeling, you will see that it is human voice and emotional resonance. And that's what is really causing people to engage. Conversations instead of broadcasts. So instead of just posting, engage in conversation. And sometimes, maybe you don't feel inspired to, like, I don't know what to share. And, engaging in conversation is equally powerful to and equally beneficial to posting. So, because sometimes I hear this still all the time. Well, I'll be like, how's your social media? Well, I'm posting all the time. But it's like, what I want to hear, I'll know that I've really made an impact when I start hearing I'm engaging with people, I'm playing on social media. Then I'll know that I've really made my impact. So I'm going to just go through each of the platforms. What are the best practices for 2026? So on Facebook, groups are more beneficial, a better use of your time than pages. Okay, so like your business, and which doesn't mean you don't need a business page. Don't get me wrong, you still need a business page because that's like your Facebook website. Okay, so anybody who doesn't have a Facebook business page, you need one if you're really going to have and grow your business on Facebook. Okay. Um, groups are really good. I would say pick a few groups to be in, two or three to start. Don't be in a group. I mean, I'm just saying, if you're going to be in a group, be in a group, really be there, show up, which means to engage and to play in the group. Because one of the reasons that groups are more beneficial is because more people are going to see your posts in a group than will see your posts on a page. So it's really important to be in a group intentionally. Show up in a group that makes sense to you, where you're going to have people who are, potential clients and potential referral partners and networking partners. Um, I'm just going to say right now, if you have, this is a little slight rabbit hole, but I'm going to say it anyway. If you have your own group, and you have a professional page, your personal, if your personal profile on Facebook is in professional mode, and you have your own group that's based on that personal, that's off of that personal page. Facebook is in a glitch right now where they're inviting droves of people to your group, even if it's a private group. So I'm sort of recommending people have their private paid groups off of Facebook. Like I'm switching mine to Telegram because I had to take 50 people out, and then another 50 people were invited. Mary, I think you were invited to one of my groups accidentally. And it doesn't feel good like, hey, sorry, you can't be in this group. I hated doing that. So so if you're in, and I did not want to switch from professional mode. I wanted to stay in professional mode. So what I did was I just said, all right, well, I'll just make this a public group. And I switched to Telegram for my private paid group. So conversations versus broadcasts, as we said, that is on Facebook. You don't want to be just broadcast, just like, blah, blah. You want to be engaged in the conversations. Comments driven reach. Okay. So posting things that are going to engage people in comments. And I want to say relevant comments, not just engagement bait. Okay. I want to encourage you, if you're going to ask questions that are related to what you do and not like the random engagement bait, Brussels sprouts, question mark questions or things like that. And then native posts, which is videos, articles, and images that just look like part of the feed, so they don't look like ads. They're performing much better for organic and paid reach. So you don't want posts that look like ads. Okay, that's Facebook. LinkedIn, thoughtful text posts. And again, long form posts on LinkedIn are really good. And less is more on LinkedIn, okay? So maybe posting, a couple of times a week, a different, something, and then, or every other day, maybe posting something. If you're going to post twice in a day, you want to leave about 6 hours in between. And then posting, really staying in your lane on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is gauging more than ever what they're going to give a higher reach to by the relevance, and so if you're like, I would not recommend, I've always said like I wouldn't post pictures of my kitties on LinkedIn, but now I'm really emphasizing even if I post quotes, it's really all about in my lane. Like I post quotes about social media. That's how in my lane I stay on LinkedIn. Relationship first DMs. Okay. So what that means is not like we all get those DMs on LinkedIn where it's like we connect with somebody and 30 seconds later we get blasted with their promotional thing. That's not relationship first DM. Relationship first is like, hey, great meeting you at that networking event yesterday, would love to connect or would love to stay connected here on LinkedIn. That's relationship first. Or I loved your post, or I read your book and it was awesome, kind of thing. And personal insights outperform corporate tone. So, even though it's LinkedIn, you don't want to do too much of that corporate tone for those of you who are focusing on LinkedIn. You want to still have it be human. Instagram, carousels are still dominating. Reels should feel human. You don't want, like I did a test. I did an AI reel of a woman saying my thing, and then I did my own version of it, and my own version of it got way higher visibility. And in fact, my AI version got a few little unfriendly comments, which I did not take personally. Okay, we have to have a thick skin on social media. Okay, stories build trust. Okay, like we're going to talk a little bit more about that later, but something that a person can lean into and feel your realness, feel your lived experience. That is what is going to get you the kind of visibility that you want. And saves signal value. So, but all the platforms are really looking at saves. Who's saving your content? Who's saving it? Who's engaging with it? So you get the point. Okay, The AI authenticity evolution. I'm going to talk about, I'm not, like I said, I'm not going too far down the rabbit hole, but I do want to talk about AI because if you're not using it, you're gonna be soon. And I've seen people using like the little, they made their little caricature and things like that. And so, but it's like there's so much more that you can do. So AI helps you organize and accelerate your ideas. These are some of the things we're going to talk about in this workshop next week. How to really use AI like as an assistant to help you come up with ideas and help you brainstorm. And it doesn't replace your perspective. And so the future belongs to creators who use AI to amplify their real voice. And that's what I want to encourage you to do. It's not replacing you. Nobody's going to be, only people who are going to be replaced by AI are people who really just refuse to embrace it because, you know, it's a okay, so the other thing is like one person kind of blasted me for like, you're destroying the environment and how can you use AI and nah, nah, nah. And it's like, so I did my research and I'm like, okay, let me look at this. And so truth be told, right now, yes, the balance is off. So it does take a lot from the environment, but the benefits of AI are going to be seen and they already are starting to be seen. So even though it hasn't evened out yet, the benefits of AI are going to be exponential in terms of all the different ways that it can help us. So, um, so that's kind of where I came to with it. I'm always going to like listen to other people's comments and hear what they have to say, and then I'm going to go do my own research. So AI gives you reach, but presence gives you impact. You don't need to be louder. You need to be clearer, consistent, and more connected. So the very first thing that you want to do in order to launch into 2026, and like honestly, you guys, I do this like every month. I go into all my social media profiles and I look at my profile and I make sure that my message is clear. I make sure my bio is current. I make sure my contact info is correct. I mean, some of you only recently have really solidified your messaging around what you're doing. And as entrepreneurs, especially people who are any kind of coaches or in any kind of personal development, we're always evolving. And so our message is evolving. And like I just did a complete revamp of my brand because to incorporate this AI message, we have to be doing this constantly so that we're being available to our ideal clients. So the first thing you want to do is make sure your profile is complete and accurate. Make sure you're using keywords more important than ever, keywords for better searchability, creating attractive visuals, compelling captions, and consistently update. So Facebook does this thing like that whenever they do an upgrade, they basically reset Facebook to all of their own preferences. So if you have certain preferences in Facebook, like for example, I like to have it where I get to pick when somebody tags me, I get to decide if I want that to show up on my social media or not. So it's like if you have things like that, what happens is when Facebook does their reset, they often reset everything to the way they want the default. So we have to go in and check our social media every 30 days or so to make sure our settings, especially Facebook. LinkedIn, it's not so much like that. The social media platforms favor people who are active participants. So stay present consistently. Engage with your audience before you post. I really want to encourage you. I don't think I can say this enough times how important it is to be consistent and don't just disappear. Okay. Every time you disappear and you're like fed up with Facebook or you're taking a break or whatever the thing is, you're basically you put all this time and energy, which converts to money, into growing your business on social media. And then when you disappear, it's sort of like, you know, you have to rebuild. So it's like, I want to encourage you to stay consistent, keep your momentum going. Even if you were like, okay, I'm just going to post 3 times a week, which that would be the minimum. So engagement is visibility. Respond promptly. This is huge, you guys. When people comment, respond promptly to whatever their comments are, because this is what keeps you going higher up in the algorithm. And even though we're not playing the algorithm game, why not benefit from it by something that is an authentic action, which is responding promptly when people comment on your stuff? I mean, if somebody gave you a compliment, you wouldn't like wait a week to respond in person, right? You would say thank you. So it's the same thing on social media. Presence builds trust faster than content volume. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Presence builds trust faster than content volume. And, that being said, that's another plug for not disappearing and being consistent. When you're inconsistent on social media, it erodes the trust. Okay. So consistency builds the trust. Hi, Christy, welcome. You'll get the recording for the beginning. Okay, comment and share people's posts. Show appreciation, lift people up. Okay, these are great ways to sort of like stay in the engagement process. Consistency is about rhythm. It's not exhaustion. Okay, so decide for yourself, what is consistency going to look like for me? And here is, I'm just going to say this as a coaching moment. It is crucial that you schedule your social media on your calendar, because guess what? If you don't schedule your social media time on your calendar, you're probably not going to do it. Okay, you heard that sharing other people's posts dilutes your Facebook presence. Okay, great. Thank you, Mary, for saying that. It reminds me. So the share button does not really benefit us anymore. So what you want to do is, if you see somebody's post that you like, what you do is you copy the image, you copy the content, share it as an original post on your own social media, and tag them and say, thank you for sharing, or I love this, because then you're sharing it as an original post. And but if you don't tag them, it's not a win-win. So you have to make sure to tag the person and say thank you, acknowledge them. Okay, thanks for sharing that. I always forget to say that. Okay, so I want to just briefly talk about this, the strategy, how to play the Whole Heart Social Media Success Formula that I've been teaching. And again, that's what my book is about, teaching it, talking about it for 18 years. That marketing is about inspiring people to take action on your expertise. So you meet them where they are, and then you bring them to the transformation. And AI can help you structure the consistency, but the formula itself is 50% of the time you are connecting, you're engaging, you're building relationships, you're sharing your core message, you're branding yourself. That's the whole, following, commenting, and the staying in the conversation. That's 50% of your time on social media. So if you, in my perfect world, okay, everybody take a deep breath. In my perfect world, you're going to be spending an hour a day on social media, because you're going to be getting amazing engagement and referrals and clients, and not necessarily getting clients, like it's not like a sales tool, but you're going to be growing your connections to take them to the next level, warm leads, if you will. So that hour a day is in 4 15-minute segments. Okay, we're going to talk about that a little bit more in a minute. I went down the rabbit hole. Okay, 50% of the time you're connecting. I said that because I want to say say an hour a day. So 50% of the time, however much time you're spending on social media, you're connecting, building relationships. 40%, you are serving. You're educating, inspiring, and motivating. You're serving people. And 10% of the time, you're offering an invitation, something that is free, something to invite people to take a next step with you, like you're doing here today. Okay, so this is my warm invitation that I offer people an opportunity to get to know me better. and to see how it would be to work with me. I mean, usually it's more interactive, but this is more like a live virtual training than a workshop and then a class. So the 50% of the day of the 50% daily engagement, connect, follow, love, comment, and share and care. Okay. Participate in the conversation. This is what you're doing for that 50% of the time. Connect, acknowledge, respond, and engage. Don't just let things drop. Okay. So if you are on for 15 minutes, 4 times a day, you're going to see who's playing with you. Because people ask me like, well, when should I be on? When's the best time to be on social media, or when's the best time to post? If you're showing up 15 minutes, 4 times a day, you're going to know when your people are on. So play online when your audience is most active. You can use the analytics tools to find peak times, but really, if you're on, you're going to see who's playing and who's responding. And again, maintain consistency with your posting schedule. So the next thing to be thinking about is, who are you talking to? It's really important for you to be thinking about who is that one person that you are talking to, so that when you open up your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Instagram, whatever you are, you're going to say, who am I talking to? And before you do anything, you're going to say, who am I talking to? What is the struggle that this person has that I help them with? What am I offering that could help them? And what is the transformation they could experience? And then you're going to know who you want to play with. So you can't just open up your social media and go like, okay, what should I say? Because that's when you get like the random, blah, blah going on. So my strategy, I always share this every time I speak. Stop the scroll. Stop doom scrolling, stop scrolling, and really start to be proactive with your social media. And this is a great screenshot. So pick 5 people a week to start to create and deepen connections with. 5 people a week to play with. Okay. And these are people that are active on social media. Maybe they're active networkers. They offer a different service to a similar target market. They have similar values in their messaging, so you want to share their content. So these are people that you already know. They're your friends on Facebook. They're in your networking groups. Maybe they're your connections on LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn, you can start on LinkedIn. Facebook doesn't matter. But you don't have to go pick new people. I want to encourage you to be in a few groups anyway. And so maybe these are people that are in one of your groups. So these 5 people a week, you're going to start, following them on all the social media, commenting on their page, sharing their content, lifting them up. You can tag them if you share their content, or you could, connect with them. But the bottom line is, what you're not going to do is you're not going to promote. You're not going to invite them to anything until you get to know them. Okay. And once you get to know them, you could invite them to like your business page, or you can invite them to, have a Zoom connect or something. But here's what's going to happen. The really better thing to do in the beginning is to really start to look at their content, find things that you can comment on, converse about, and become interested in. And so what happens is, every time you comment on something or whatever you do, they get a notification. Oh, Rochelle commented on my thing. Oh, so-and-so, liked my thing or shared my thing or whatever it is. So they see that. And I don't know about you, but when someone does that with me, especially someone I don't know that well, what am I going to do? I'm going to go check them out, right? And I'm going to sort of return the love. So that's what will happen. So some people will do that. Other people are not going to play. And so maybe 2 or 3 people play, 2 or 3 people don't play. Next week, continue playing with the people you're already playing with, and then find 5 more people. And then continue to do this. And what it does is it gives you structure to your social media. So you're not just opening up your whatever and going out of your body. You're knowing what you're going to do. Okay. And you're knowing you're going to start liking what's in your newsfeed, because you're going to be playing with people that you care about, and their content is going to start to show up in your newsfeed, and your content is going to start to show up in their newsfeed. So this is a great way to start to amplify your voice and grow your social media. So just to sort of give you like, what does that 15 minutes 4 times a day look like? You open your social media, you know who you pick. Maybe you're picking your 5 people. So if you're not picking, if you already picked them, then maybe you're checking your notifications on all your social media to see who is playing with you. You're exploring who you've already played with in the past, liking, commenting, sharing, maybe make a one in-depth comment. What can you share of their content? So these are some things that you could be doing. This is another good screenshot. So it's like you could have this like, okay, here's what I'm doing. That's what you're doing in each 15-minute segment. And it could be 5 minutes 4 times a day. 5 minutes 4 times a day is better than like 20 minutes once a day. Okay, so getting on a few times a day is better. Or it could be twice a day or 3 times a day if you feel overwhelmed by 4 times. But I'm going to tell you that once you start to do this and once you start to really engage and care, like the liking, commenting, sharing, and caring, you're going to really start to have a different experience with social media. And the bottom line, you guys, it's like social media is a 24/7 networking opportunity. So I get that there's a tendency to feel like, oh, it's so superficial and I hate all the ads and everybody's, all these people like, I can't be like all those people who are like doing all that flashy stuff they do on social media. That's just not me. But it's like, you don't have to do any of that. You can just be you authentically, deeply, and in a heartfelt way, connect with the people that you want to connect with and still have a thriving business using social media to market your business. Okay, so put in the chat if you've gotten one aha this morning yet. We're not done, but I'm just curious. Oops. Okay, and I'm going to keep going. So another strategy that is really valuable on social media, check in on social media more than once a day. Very good. Thank you, Mary. Another strategy that I want to recommend to you is to collaborate with influential people in your community and in your industry. Okay, so partner with influencers, collaborate with complementary brands, co-create content to reach a broader audience, share and promote each other's posts, partner with people in your lane. Okay, so I'm going to emphasize this, that the posting parties are great, but I want to encourage you to partner with people who are in your lane so that you're going to be showing your content to people who are potential ideal clients and sharing and commenting on content that is with your ideal clients. So, posting parties are good. Finding just once you start to do this 5 people a week thing, you're going to start to be playing with people who are in your lane. Okay. And yes, Sadie, thank you. Thank you. Frequently checking in. Yes. Okay. Building relationships builds influence. This is the bottom line. Human presence equals visibility and reach. Show up consistently, stay connected, and be curious. And this is the 50% of the time. So this is what you're doing 50% of the time on social media. And if you're not sure what 50% is, it's most of the time. Okay, because the rest of the stuff, eventually you could find somebody to help you with, you could find someone to post your quotes and your this and that, but this is the part that you can't pay someone else to do. Okay, so 40% of the time, we're going to be showing up to serve. Marketing is about inspiring people to take action on your expertise. So now we're going to talk about showing up to serve. Thank you, Marissa. Visibility is engagement based. Exactly. I know, and that's new. Okay. AI can support you in visibility with ease, but you still have to be involved with it to choose what the messaging is. So you can hire somebody to help you find your content. You can use AI, but you still want to have your own voice in it. You want to infuse your voice to educate, inspire, and motivate. When you are sharing your quotes, etc., you want to be using hashtags. And AI can research niche hashtags for you, but hashtags perform several functions. They connect your posts with topics and audiences. They allow users to search by hashtags, and they tell the platforms who to show your content to. So it's really important to use hashtags. Eventually, probably we won't use hashtags anymore, but we're still using them. So thank you, Rochelle. Relevance over popularity. Thank you. Yes, awesome. Okay, so hashtag strategy. 3 different types of hashtags for what the content relates to, for the problem to be solved, and for the audience being targeted. On Facebook, you can use 5 or 6 hashtags. On Instagram, you can use a bunch of hashtags. On LinkedIn, 3 to 5 hashtags at the most. And don't use the same hashtags over and over again. Like I might have 20 hashtags and I will rotate them. So if you use the same exact hashtags all the time, it looks like spam to the bots. So you want to share valuable, informative, engaging content, maintain a consistent posting schedule. Again, and it's so easy to do that with a scheduling program. Use a mix of content, articles, videos, infographics. If you're a video phobic, I can help you. Focus on providing solutions and answering questions. Okay, so well, AI, ChatGPT is great. And I mentioned for the people who came a little bit later, I am doing a workshop next week on ChatGPT. So I'll talk about that a little bit later. So another thing when you're sharing your content is to share user-generated content. That is authentic content created by users. And that often gets shared, gets higher reach, and because it's relatable and trustworthy, it has a trustworthy nature. So things like testimonials, reviews, lifting other people up, humor and memes that are in your lane, inspirational quotes, heartwarming stories, educational content, personal stories. This is a good screenshot too. Just these are some great things to share when you have that, like, now I know who I'm talking to. And again, things that are in your lane, relevant keywords. So you can also host live video sessions and AI, like I use AI to help me create my video. Like I'll say, give me a 90-second video script. You can use live streaming, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, engage your audience in real time. Okay. Video is so powerful. Host Q&A sessions, promote live sessions in advance, download and share across all platforms. Video is killer. You can share stories. Stories are the new authority signal in 2026 because stories get so much engagement. When you share a story about something on Facebook or LinkedIn, I mean, AI can generate content, but it can't generate a lived experience. And that's the difference. And you can use Instagram. So like, okay, I'm saying stories like share a story, and there's Facebook stories and Instagram stories where the post is up for 24 hours. So if you're sharing using the stories functions, Facebook on Instagram, make sure that you're also sharing it in your feed if you really want people to see it, because many times if you share it in a story, people miss it. I don't know if you've had that experience where the minute you click on it, it goes away. It's so annoying. So please share it in your feed as well. So that's 40% of your time. So then 10% of your time is an invitation. It's a free thing. It's an event. I recommend something that gives people a feeling of how it would be to work with you. So I'm a coach. I'm somebody who works with people like this. So sharing a download is not going to tell people how it would be to work for me. Okay. So share something that gives people an idea of how it would be to work for you. If you sell products, you could give a money back guarantee. You could have special offers. So there's always a way to offer something for free. And when you are offering whatever you're offering, your story is your superpower, again, that AI can't replicate. So you want to share a personal story. So instead of saying like, buy my this or buy my that, share a story of how your service helped somebody rather than just saying it. And, then you can add DM me if you're interested. So it's like, it's giving people something to lean into. Instead of saying sign up for my coaching program, you could say, I remember when I struggled with social media. That's my example. Here's how I changed that. And now I do that for other people. DM me if you're interested. So it's like, it's a different kind of language. So, what I would like to invite you to do is put one thing in the chat that you learned that you're going to implement from today. Some of you already put something in there, but maybe there's something else that you're going to implement from today. So think about that for a few minutes. And what I would like to do is I would like to take a few minutes to talk to you about what is next for you if you are interested in taking a next step with me. Some of you, I know you're already in my class, yay, but I'm going to talk about it for the people who are not. So I am offering my Whole Heart Monthly Masterclass live on Zoom, where you learn what to say, where to play, and how to win. This is a program that meets monthly, and it's a space for heart-centered entrepreneurs who are marketing, who want their marketing to feel human and not exhausting. You get ongoing guidance and support, clarity and connection, accountability so you don't become invisible, and a steady place to grow your message and visibility. Because as we all know, if your priority is your business and not social media, many times social media gets left by the wayside. So what you receive each month is a monthly strategy and teaching session, clarity on your messaging, visibility, content planning, engagement, and simple funnels. You get a monthly Q&A, hot seat, personalized, grounded. So there's 2 classes a month, weekly check-ins in our Telegram group, and accountability. So you know, okay, I'm coming to class. I know I got to keep this thing going. And it helps you, again, I like the gentle accountability. Private, heart-centered community with safe, aligned support. And then about every 6 weeks, I do master classes. For example, for my class, this is, we're doing the ChatGPT. We're going to do this next month. We're going to be focusing on video. So we're going to do a master class on video. So we're going to do a master class on, we do lots of different topics. I basically do it on whatever people need to learn. So here's the bottom line. The entrepreneurs who will thrive in 2026 are not the ones posting the most. They are the ones who are speaking with clarity, showing up consistently with presence, engaging like a real human, and using AI to support and not as identity. And one of the things I want to say about this class is that we also are really diving deep into people's resistance and pain around using social media, because a lot of people are allowing themselves to be stopped by a lot of different things that happen on social media. And I'm going to read your comments in a few minutes. Like the haters and like the judgment and like the doom scrolling and all of those things and the politics and the ads. And we also talk about that kind of stuff. So people get an opportunity to really explore the things that are keeping them stuck and not allowing them to move to greater visibility. So here's how it works. There's 2 memberships. There's the $55 a month. You can cancel anytime. Or if you want to, you could start with the 55 a month, and then it's $550 a year if you want to do that instead, and that's 2 months free. And so we meet live on Zoom the first and third Tuesday from 9 to 10:30. So if you're ready for a steadier, more human way to stay visible, I would love to have you join us. What you're going to walk away with is clarity instead of second guessing, consistency without pushing, confidence in your message, a supportive community, and a momentum built from small aligned actions. So it's not just information, it's about relationship with your visibility. And as a bonus, anybody who signs up in the next by tomorrow will, or no, by Friday tomorrow, you will get to come to the ChatGPT class. The class is $27 if you decide you want to just come, but if you sign up by tomorrow, you'll get to come to the class. It'll be it's a bonus of the program. So I'm going to put the link in the chat, and I'm going to stop the share, and I want to read the chat comments. And I want to know if anybody has any questions as soon as I find the link, because I can't talk and type at the same time. Okay, I'm putting the link in the chat for the Social Media Mastery. You can sign up right on the website. And I'm going to, does anybody have any questions? You can either raise your Zoom hand or you can raise your hand. And I want to read these comments. Okay, so here's what, to explore being authentic, it seems like natural extension of being in public relationships to not be scared. Yay. Adding even more depth to my social media conversations. I feel the same as Sadie, explore being authentic and not being scared. Good. Play with 5 people a day. Yay, Diana Resistance. Thanks for talking about it. What do you recommend for those who are not comfortable going live? I recommend that you come to my class, because in the next month, we're going to talk about how to use video and go live, because it's such a powerful tool, especially now. Going live is like, it's like people are looking for the authentic appearance. They're looking for what's real. And so when you go live, you're giving people exactly what they want from you. To give you the short answer to that, Mary, going live, like one of the things I did was one of the things I recommend is if you do it on your phone, do a video just on your phone, and then don't watch it. This is the key. Don't watch it and then go live. Like you've just done the video and then go live and do the exact same video, because you'll be like, oh, okay, I could do that. It wasn't so bad. And then you just go and do it live. The other thing is, one of my versions of getting over my thing was someone said, just do 10 videos right in a row. So I did that, and that helped. One of the things I do strongly recommend is don't just get on and go like, hey, everybody, I'm trying going live. Don't do that. Just have 3 tips. Hi, everybody. I'm Diana Morgan with Whole Heart Marketing. Today, I'm going to share 3 tips about how to be more authentic on social media. And you have a little Post-it note that's right next to your camera with your 3 tips. And that's a really great way to just really practice going live. So hopefully that helps, Mary. And again, I'd love to have you guys in my class. Okay, so somebody said, what day is the group? It's Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30. I mean, first and third Tuesday from 9 to 10:30. First and third Tuesday of the month. And then the master classes, they kind of move around in Pacific time. The master classes move around, so they're not the same time or day every month, so that sometimes people can attend live and sometimes they have to watch the recording. But all classes are recorded. Everything, some people just take my class on demand. I don't recommend that, but all the classes are recorded. So you can watch every single video. They're labeled with what they are, what we talked about. All the master classes are labeled. And so if you do have to miss a class, and we do have some get it done time during the class. So if you take the class and then you have to leave like the last half hour or something, I mean, some people need to do that, and that's fine. You're going to get the bulk of what we're doing in the first hour anyway. So any other questions about the class? Any other questions about what we talked about today? Any other anything? Okay. Well,
Diana,
yes, Marissa.
Hi, when you say posting party, um, are you having a posting party with yourself where you're picking the five people, or are you setting up this structure with five other people and then you have a posting party?
Okay, great question. So there are people who sort of organize groups of people to meet like 2 days a week or one day a week, and they're like, we're all going to meet on Zoom and we're all going to comment on each other's content. And they call it like a posting party or different, they have different names for it. And it's fine. I think it's great. It's a good intention. And if you're going to do that, what I want to say is to do that with people who, like, you have your strategic partners, like you're marketing to the same group of people and maybe you sell something different, or you're at least somehow like in alignment with those people so that um, it's just a higher benefit of your time. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Sure.
Hey, Diana.
Hi, Christy.
Hi. I have a question. So someone was saying something about that when you, if someone likes you like somebody's post and you share it by clicking the share button, that's actually not sharing it. I didn't quite understand that.
Okay, so the share button does not get the credit that it used to on Facebook. So what you want to do instead is you want to copy it, and it's much easier to do this on your phone because you just have to put your finger on it, at least on the iPhone, and copy it. So you save the photo, copy the content, go over to your social media profile, post the
Okay.
content, post the picture, and tag the person and say thank you for sharing.
Okay. I didn't realize that. That didn't work.
Yeah,
Okay, that's good
and
to
you'll
know.
get and if you push the share button and you share someone's stuff, you'll see that you don't even get to see the insights on it. It doesn't show anything.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay. And then the other thing was when you say like share the same time every day or whatever, you're just saying that you just want to be consistent with like if I share something in the morning, just always kind of share at the same time because then people kind of know when to look for your posts. Is that why why you recommend that?
I actually don't think I said
Oh,
that.
okay. Well, you said I guess what you said have a strategy
Good.
when you're sharing your stuff. So
So
maybe I misunderstood that.
let me clarify. I'm glad you asked because let me clarify what I meant. Maybe I did say that, but that's not what I meant. So what I mean is to get on social media 3 or 4 times a day and get on the times when your people are on. So if you start to get on 4 times a day and you start to share things and converse and engage, you're going to see who's live and who's commenting right after you and who's sharing. And when someone shares and you share their thing, and you can see when somebody shared, you can see like how long ago they shared it. So that's what I'm saying is to show up consistently. And it's really more about when are your people that you're playing with on.
Okay. Okay. I guess
Yeah.
because you said having strategy, like when you're be consistent with your posting, I didn't know like if it mattered, like if I share my stuff in the morning, kind of keep it that way, or if I should try different times. But you're saying when my people are on is when I should, then that's the best time to posting my content.
Right. And also in terms of your scheduled posts, I would say like certain things, I will always share something first thing in the morning. But if I'm sharing a certain post and I want to share it on all my platforms, I will try to share it at different times, different days, different platforms. I try not to share the exact same thing on every post. I mean, on every platform, but honestly, I know you've all seen me do it because sometimes I just feel lazy and I don't care. Or if it's a promotional post, like if I'm sharing about a workshop, I might just share it across all platforms at once. But then I'm
Okay.
still going to share other times too. But in general, I try to rotate the platforms, the times, and the content.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, you're welcome, Bobette. Glad you enjoyed it. All right. Anything else? Anybody have any comments? Well, it was so great to have you all here today. Thank you so much for coming. And I will be sending out the replay and I will be sending it out to everybody who signed up. And if, as I mentioned, if you do sign up for the class, you'll also get the ChatGPT class and you can sign up for a month or for the whole time. And if you have questions, please message me because I'd love to just talk to you about it. So Karen or Mary, if you have questions about it, just, feel free to send me a message. All right. I will see everybody later. Have a fantastic day.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
You're welcome.